This is Verena with Vibrant Web Creations. Today, we're going to go over the topic of graphics, and they are so much more than making things look pretty. When it comes to graphics, there is so much more going on than just making a website look pretty. Remember the saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. There are many moving parts involved to make sure your graphics work perfectly for all of your marketing platforms, on and offline, and will correctly reflect your brand. When choosing fonts and colors, for instance, make sure they represent your brand's unique personality. A lot can be said with just your font choice. Ask yourself how you want your brand represented to your audience and find a font that reflects that tone. Extremely important to make sure your graphic design is usable and reliable, rather than only focusing on the look. Graphic design includes many important parts such as creating visuals, which includes hierarchy and order throughout your website or printed media. You do not need to reinvent the wheel for each graphic element. Instead, build on what you have created so far, granted you have already a foundation to go by, in order to make sure the visual elements of your marketing materials establish a clear pathway for your audience to navigate different media elements. When making graphics for your website, for instance, it's especially important to make sure every design is responsive, meaning they look great across different screen sizes. You could make something that looks absolutely amazing on the web, but it will not work on your cell phone or tablet, and then you need to take a step back and rethink the design. Another item to consider is when designing anything from a logo to a vehicle wrap, you need to understand the target audience. Perhaps you may be able to create a more detailed design for a website aimed to your younger audiences, but your older and less technologically savvy audience might prefer something simpler and on paper. Aesthetics are an important aspect of design, but they must be created in connection with many different factors. A website that looks great, beautiful, but is unusable is a design fail. But a website that looks great, captures your brand idea, and is functional across different types of media devices, that's a success. Your graphics should solve problems, making complex navigation simple through the use of well-crafted websites. Make sure you understand what the users of your website will need and solve these problems before they even occur with a strong design. That means making it user-friendly. You only have milliseconds to create a powerful message with one single graphic. People will either love it or dislike it. This directly reflects on how they feel about you as a company and influence their spending decisions. Graphics help build perception of your brand, and making sure of all your designs feel connected is extremely important. Making a standalone page that looks great but doesn't feel in tune with the rest of your website will feel off-putting. Your graphics should feel cohesive and become a visual representation of your brand that your potential customers will recognize. You need to consider graphics as an extension to your brand with colors, fonts, and flow, with all marketing materials to be consistent. You need to consider graphics as an extension to your brand. With the colors, fonts, and flow in mind, all marketing material need to be consistent. This way, when someone picks up a flyer that has been designed, the prospective customer should immediately be able to associate with a brand that they have seen on screen, in a magazine, or elsewhere.
Thanks for watching our Quick Tips videos. Have a look at some of our other videos here on the screen, or visit us online at digital-collective.com. And let's create, promote, and establish your brand.